Welcome to the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, your favorite podcast where nope. Just keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Keep it rolling. Okay. Set. 1, 2, 3. Welcome to the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, your podcast for movie and TV show news, trailers, and vaguely nerdy topics.
You forgot your favorite. You said
your Damn podcast. It. Okay, let me start again. Okay. Welcome to the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, your favorite podcast for movie and TV show news, trailers, and vaguely nerdy topics.
Each week, we dive into the latest film releases, talk about the plot, characters, our favorite scenes, and our rating out of 5 Nicole Kidmans. Okay.
Ready?
No.
3, 2, 1.
Each week, we dive into the latest... Nope. I'm already looking. Okay.
Welcome to the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast, your favorite podcast for movie and TV show news, trailers, and vaguely nerdy topics.
Each week, we dive into the latest film release, talk about the plot, characters, our favorite scenes, and give our rating out of 5 Nicole Kidmans.
Whether you're a casual moviegoer or a hardcore cinephile, we've got something for you. Reviews, news, hot takes, and a few surprises along the way.
So grab your popcorn, open your favorite podcast app or YouTube, and let's roll the reel on this week's latest episode of the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast.
All right, so this week we watched Never Let Go, starring Halle Berry, and I'm on deck for trivia. Are you ready, sir?
Yes.
Now let me go find it because I switched my thing. Okay, hold on.
Distress wig.
Halle Berry was going to star in a movie, but she turned the role down. She was going to be the lead, and Jennifer Lopez ended up taking the lead role in place of her. What movie was it?
How old is this movie? Is it old or new?
It's
They've both
old.
Been around forever.
It's old.
Enough.
It's not pretty old, couple decades.
Okay, so it's not enough.
Oh no, not enough. Sorry.
Is it a rom-com? That narrows it down a lot.
It's a comedy, but not on purpose.
Geely?
Jesus, yes. You got that?
Yeah.
Dang.
I think everybody acknowledged that Geely was a mistake.
Okay, let me give you a more recent movie that you remember.
Okay.
Ocean's 11. The original Ocean's 11.
I remember the original Ocean's 11.
Okay, and that group of actors were called something back in the 60s. Camera, are you too young for this question?
Those group of actors.
Uh-huh.
George Clooney and Brad.
Frank, Dean, Sammy, Peter, Joey, and Rickles.
Oh, like Sammy Davis Jr.?
Yes. Frank Sinatra. What was the group?
The Rat Pack?
Exactly.
Oh,
yes.
Got it.
So all of the Frank
sense.
Sinatra, Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., Peter Lawford, Joey Bishop, and Don Rickles.
That makes sense.
Yes. This week's trivia will be around Atlas. Tell me when your mind is ready.
My mind is ready.
All right. So the director of Atlas is Brad Payton. He is a director of other movies, so this is not like a directorial debut for him.
Okay.
He directed 2 Rock movies, the Rock movies, Dwayne Johnson movies.
Okay.
One of them was Journey 2, The Mystery Island. Can you guess the other 2 movies that he has directed, also starring The Rock?
Were either of them Jumanji?
No.
Okay. Jungle Cruise?
No. Older. I'll give you a clue. Older.
There was...
Okay, let me give you another clue.
Did he have hair?
No, not that old.
No.
Not that old. But I can see how you went there.
Older than Journey 2, which is the sequel to Journey to the Center
so
of the Earth.
So it's newer than Journey 2.
Newer than Journey.
But it's older than Jungle Cruise. They're both disastrous.
So the movie where he had the one leg and the tower was on fire?
Your favorite.
Okay, what movie was that?
Rampage?
No.
Oh,
okay,
dang.
but that's the other one.
One of the answers.
Wait, so Rampage is the monkey one.
Oh, yeah, okay, then yes. I got my movies mixed up.
Is the other one Skyscraper?
No.
Okay, so I can't remember what's the name of the one where he has the one leg.
Uh-huh. Yes, I think it is that one. Or I'm getting my movies confused again.
And the building is like under siege.
Mm-hmm.
And he's married to Neve Campbell.
I think we think of the same movie. We about to find out.
I can't remember the name of it. I think it's Skyscraper. No, Skyscraper.
Oh, you close.
Else.
You starting with the right letter.
Sky Tower?
It's a city. Or is it? Tell me when you give up.
I give up.
San Andreas.
No.
We are thinking about two different movies.
That means his movies are too similar.
Web Slinger.
He was in a Spider-Man movie?
He was offered a role in a Spider-Man movie. A villain. A prominent role in
Dr. Octopus?
Close.
Green Goblin?
Yes.
He would have been an awful Green Goblin.
You think so?
Yeah, no. That role was made for Willem
think...
Dafoe.
Okay, you're not wrong there.
So
you're not wrong about Willem Dafoe, but you don't think he would have been able to play like the same crazy, zany? I mean, now you can't unsee it.
I can't unsee Willem Dafoe in that role. I can't see anybody else in that role, and it's been too long.
It has been way too long, and he's like came back and
then I don't think I couldn't have seen him be Green Goblin in Spider-Man 1.
Okay.
And I don't think anybody but Willem Dafoe would have been able to pull off No Way Home's Norman. The crazy Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde Norman.
That flip when we was all like, oh God, he's actually crazy.
And he was like laughing while Peter was beating him up.
That was such a good scene.
Yeah, Willem Dafoe's too good.
And this is Noops. So Kyle Chandler will be playing Hal Jordan, which it's funny because he wasn't nowhere on the list that we talked about 2 episodes ago. And if you don't know who Kyle Chandler is, he's been in a bunch of things. He got a filmography. Okay. What?
I love that you put Grey's Anatomy in his filmography because he was in the one episode where he got blown.
That was a good episode.
I mean, it was very memorable, but it's just funny.
And that was back when I was watching Grey's. I was like,
it's all movie credits and then the one episode of Grey's where he got blown up.
So he's in Grey's Anatomy, which is a very good episode. Yes. I wonder if all the other actors knew. Now, I'm sure Robert Downey Jr. knew. And we all knew, like, some of these people, we all were coming back. They already said that the Thunderbolts were going to be in this. We knew Anthony Mackie was coming back. But I wonder if some of these actors didn't know the other actors was in this. And this was like
if they didn't know, the people on this list didn't know the other people on this list were?
Correct.
I'm sure the Thunderbolts knew they were all going to be in it. I'm sure that the Fantastic Four, if you were in the same project, probably. But the rest of them, probably not.
Right. Which kind of makes it fun that, like, they kind of knew as we knew as well. But... Yeah. This movie is going to be huge.
Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart probably both knew because they're actually friends.
Right. They probably talk to each other. Like, did you get the memo? Did you sign the check?
I don't think the rest of them really talk to each other like that.
Like, who knew Namor was coming back besides him?
There's going to be another Predator standalone movie coming along with Elle Fanning, the younger sister of Dakota Fanning, set to star. She previously...
Wait. What?
Yeah, you didn't know that?
Is that why they look so much alike?
Yes. There's not that many Fannings.
Had no idea. Oh, keep going.
So she previously starred in Maleficent 1 and 2 as the daughter and princess.
That's what I know her from.
Previously announced that Prey director Dan Trachtenberg will direct this movie as well, and he also will co-write the script. I think that's cool. I also think it's cool that the spinoffs are doing female characters. My reference for like a realistic Tommy Pickles is like E.T.
Exactly.
He looks weird.
In a cartoon, it works because it's a cartoon and you can do all types of things when you do animation. But a CGI Tommy Pickles?
Yeah. Tommy Pickles is just awkward looking.
The real life parents would look at that baby and be like, "Doctor, what's wrong?
My baby?"
Don't understand.
So
I'm sorry, bad idea.
As soon as we get first looks, we will be right here to discuss and share those. But I do want to remind everybody of what Sonic looked like.
I feel like The Sims has a broader age range.
The Sims.
Okay, maybe I'm speaking for myself. I played The Sims and I do not play Minecraft.
The Sims has sold over 200 million copies worldwide. Is one of the best-selling video game series of all time.
Because there's all these expansion packs.
It's part of a larger Sims series that started, because I forgot, SimCity was the first Sims game.
Yep.
SimCity came out in 1989. Where you can
build the city.
They have all of that lore. They have jokes from like the 5,000 expansion packs that have come out with Sims. The updates and the changes to clothing.
Yeah.
They have brand deals. You can get Williams and Sonoma kitchen appliances in The Sims now.
Of course. That's why I said I see the Barbie angle, because you could literally do the same type of like marketing,
custom content,
luring people
community made content that people put on like message boards,
kitchen appliance. Like you could literally do anything and people will have some even if you didn't play The Sims, I feel like you know what The Sims are. Like the video game.
So the film follows a disgraced astronaut on a deep sea dive, exploring a newly discovered trench, who soon finds himself confronted by a sinister and dangerous force. It's the Meg.
This is mine. Oh, okay. I was thinking Meg, but I'm like, I wonder if the Sinister Force he's just going crazy.
Or it's like a Kraken.
Okay. So you think it's actually going to be an animal?
Why? Yeah, like why go into the trench? Don't take me to a trench for psychological thriller. Show me a monster. Show me a sea monster.
I agree. If we going to go all the way and we got Tom Cruise in a horror movie.
Especially since it's like so much we don't know about the ocean.
Oh, yeah.
This is like the perfect place to create something.
Some new, horrific, terrible monster.
Bring out Godzilla.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a deformed Godzilla, you know, missing a eye or something.
The point of the remake of this is for all of the elements. They're not just picking. They're not treating this like a salad bar. They're remaking this from beginning,
scratch,
from top
original
to
recipe.
Yeah, so.
I don't even know who they could get. Now the Kevin Costner role don't matter. We can get anybody, but who you getting is the actor.
Good singer actresses. Go.
Yep.
Good singer actresses of 2025. I mean, I'm sure we're missing somebody.
Who? So they have abandoned the Dark Universe idea, which is probably good because it's obvious.
They're trying to make them too serious.
Well,
the Mummy, 1999, was good because it was a fun, campy adventure, and Tom Cruise trying to turn it into Mummy Impossible, and that wasn't interesting.
Right? Wasn't Russell Crowe in that one too? Right?
Yeah, he was like Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah, right, right.
They went too serious.
It got too Mission Impossible.
They went more League of Extraordinary Gentlemen when they should have went more Mummy 1999.
Right, exactly. So the Dark Universe no longer exists. It sounds like now they're trying to go back to just doing standalone movies. So James Wan is in talks to do this one. We'll see if it makes it because the rest of them didn't really see the light of day.
I do really want a Batman Beyond adaptation first.
I don't understand why we not getting it. We're doing everything but it.
Like futuristic Gotham, Terry McGinnis, old man Bruce Wayne, and the legacy villains that come after like the ones that he already fought.
You know what I feel like? This is like Blade on the MCU side. I don't know what is taking so long. I don't get what the issues are.
It's so simple.
This is exactly that.
I wonder if it's like a hidden licensing thing we don't know about.
Or they just
like there has to be a reason they just absolutely can't do it,
or just won't do it. I think they can. They just won't.
Yeah,
I'm starting to change that org petition. The link will be in the show notes.
This looks fun. It sounds ridiculous.
It does.
It sounds like something I watch 1,000 times. The going after collecting, I'm assuming the bone marrow of 3 dinosaurs to cure cancer
probably just
is
DNA
extremely
or something.
Stupid. But
yeah, you know,
they already
what else
passed the extremely stupid point when they did the cloning plotline. So.
Yes,
and I forgive them for that.
Right, I forgot about
that. Was dumb, but
I didn't like the.
But the movies still had a lot of interesting parts that surrounded that stupid plot line. So
in most Jurassic Park movies, like the good ones, the plot is pretty simple, so we don't need to complicate it.
Yeah, life finds a way. They solidified that early on, so that's the excuse. Yes. That's the ongoing excuse for all of these.
Yes,
life
exactly.
will always find a way. Him, and he kind of moves in an Ultron-like direction where he's like, well, if y'all are going to keep being mean to my family, I'm just going to wipe y'all out.
So Magneto?
I think one of his kids accidentally like kills their best friend on accident playing around or something.
That ain't making a Disney Plus show.
Or kills one of the parents, and Agatha has to come to the Avengers and basically say, hey, I got a vision that Vision is going through it. And if we don't stop him, the vision I had was that Vision is basically going to fulfill Ultron's dream and wipe out the human race.
I'm assuming he's not going to change the plot of the Odyssey. And he's going to keep that the same, but there's no guarantee that Christopher Nolan's going to put the wife in this.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be epic is a good word for it.
I'm excited. It's fantastical.
It is.
That's exactly what I said I wanted from Christopher Nolan.
Exactly what we wanted.
I did not want
vampire helicopter cops.
I mean, it would have been fantastical. I didn't want anything regular.
You're right.
Christopher Nolan.
We just had regular.
Oppenheimer was great. Yeah. Historical. Context.
Regular.
Time to get back into the freakiness.
Grounded.
In the weird.
This is coming from Columbia Pictures.
How did this make it past the pitching phase?
I was going to say, I don't know how this got so far along.
But you know what? Jumanji made $1 billion.
Oh, the remakes, which I still have not seen those.
Even though I'm not a fan of what they did to Jumanji in those films.
People are.
Everybody else is.
They are quite popular.
So maybe that's the key. Jumanjifying.
Just don't make it for us.
Jumanjifying
movies.
Old action franchises.
So now we're reimagining classics.
So expect this trailer to look like the Jumanji trailer.
Oh, well, natural disasters, animal. Come on, yes.
Because natural disasters weren't a factor in the first Anaconda.
The disaster was John Voight.
And he was also the violent criminal.
The suit looks better on these set photos of somebody's.
Looks better in the daylight.
Yes.
It looks better. It looks more colorful. I don't know why they chose to release that first picture where it's like all
the Chat GPT pic,
fleshed out and dark.
I didn't like it.
Yeah, I like it. I like the fact that it's just like a royal blue and a regular red.
The cape looks very good as well.
And the yellow is very yellow. It doesn't have to be like dark or super realistic. It looks ridiculous because he's a superhero.
He's not from here, right?
I like Mr. Terrific's outfit more.
I like that jacket.
Because it's so comic accurate. Mr. Terrific's outfit is probably like one of the most comic accurate outfits I've ever seen in live action.
They got it down to the stitching.
Shoes.
Yeah.
I love the trim on the motorcycle jacket and the pants. I love the black, white, and red.
Another reboot, remake, requel, whatever you want to call it, is coming, but this time it's for Cape Fear. And if you've not, have you seen Cape? Are you too young for Cape Fear?
Yes, because I don't know anything about Cape Fear.
Oh, Lord Jesus. There's two of them. I have not seen the OG one, but there is one from the 90s that starred Robert De Niro. Okay. It's coming to Apple as a TV series, which means Apple's probably not going to promote it very well, but it's probably going to be really good.
Yes, because nothing new exists.
Well, yeah. Yeah. This time, instead of Robert De Niro playing a psychotic killer, it would be Javier Bardem, who fits. And you haven't seen Cape Fear.
I have seen No Country for Old Men though.
Okay, boom. And you've also seen what 007 movie was he in? Quantum of Solace.
Oh no, we don't speak of that one.
Spectre.
Yes.
Boom. So if you've seen him in that, then you already know what he can do.
All right, so that is all the movie news we have this week. Let's roll into the trailer pod.
Beep.
It looks like it's long legs-ish. So it's going to be like supernatural and creepy, but it's going to have a mystery. And I like those.
I know.
I like mystery
right
horrors.
Up your alley. Everybody's so excited about this. And I'm just like, I'm going to not be able to sleep for weeks.
Hereditary was kind of like that. It was like a mystery.
Oh, God.
And Heretic was also like that.
Okay, Heretic I was able to mostly do except for that one particular scene. But Hereditary, I just watched the kill count and was freaked out. Literally just watched 30 minutes of a review.
People have seen Hereditary and have talked about how they were afraid of dark corners for a week or two after that movie.
Laying in my bed, I look in the corner and be like, "There's nothing there."
Toni Collette standing in the corner.
Relax. Yeah, I'm gonna be freaked out by this, but we gonna watch it.
So,
interestingly enough,
I'm gonna say Cheryl probably won't like this movie because they're doing the thing Cheryl doesn't like.
With a young team,
they're not teens. They're introducing younger people who are probably in their 30s.
I don't like it. I didn't like it when they did it in Bad Boys
or Fast and Furious. She doesn't like when they introduced the new crop of people.
You know what's funny?
She is very anti-Degrassi, the next generation.
Listen, that's when I fell off Grace. I literally quit Grace when they started bringing them young kids in. I was like, I don't want y'all. Where y'all? Get out of here. Boo.
Mid-20s college graduates.
Amateurs after 8 seasons in. Nobody want this.
The only thing that this trailer made me think of is another twin film. This is the Lion King's version of Transformers 1.
Transformers 1?
Yeah. This is going to be the story about how Optimus and Megatron were originally best friends and something horrible and tragic is going to happen in the end that turns Megatron into a murderous, genocidal piece of crap.
You said Transformers 1 and my mind went to the first Transformers. No, I was like, what this guy?
I think it's very interesting that both movies are advertising at the same time, as this typically happens with a lot of twin films. They usually come out around the same times and have the exact same story beats.
You're right. You're right, because that is exactly what Transformers 1
The trailer was great.
It looks good.
But watching it devastated me because the whole trailer was a happy, feel-good time, and something awful is going to happen.
It has to.
Well, no information on the budget yet, but usually slashers are extremely cheap.
$250.
This is going to star Madeline Klein as the lead, taking place of. So basically, they're going to do this the exact same way they did Scream 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm not sure if they're going to do the new girl is related to the killer from the past thing, but
This trailer looks bad.
It is a paint by numbers. It is copy pasta, like Cheryl said. The trailer shows that they have obviously committed a murder of some sort and kept it secret, covered it up.
He back.
There's a new, different type of fisherman who is going around and seeking revenge on them. She's a nun.
And she's a nun. And the rest of the sons are just regular.
And I don't think she's even allowed to inherit anything. So,
is she not?
Yeah, nuns aren't supposed to have anything but God.
Are you sure? I'm not Googling that. I believe you. I don't know. I
don't think nuns are allowed to do anything.
If you a nun, let us know.
But like maybe run a business. I don't think nuns are like. I don't know.
Can nuns have assets? No.
Exactly.
You're right.
Nicholas Hoult, who's Beast. Aaron Taylor Johnson, who's
Beast?
Quicksilver.
Beast? Yeah. How dare you?
He's also Lex Luthor, right?
Oh yeah, he's Lex Luthor. So bigger roles. It just looks like more Bad Boys.
But you don't think it was funnier?
No. Was the trailer funnier?
I thought
it had more of the jokes in the scene.
I'll put it this way: as somebody who did not like the previous Bad Boys as much as everybody else in the universe, I think this one I will enjoy it quite a bit more.
It's interesting because this one looks more like the previous Bad Boys than the rest of the Bad Boys.
This one looked better than the last one because the jokes look real funny.
It looks better than the last one because it's a very obvious lack of the side characters that they added. That's the only reason. Other than the fact this movie looks the same.
But I thought they put more of the comedy that's going to be in the movie in this, and I laughed. But you don't look convinced.
This is Watch Dogs.
Oh, it is the video game.
This is which is becoming a movie.
It is because he uses like the cameras and stuff to do facial recognition.
Another twin film.
Okay. That other film ain't out yet.
I know, but still.
You're right.
The twin films always get announced right after one goes into production or one gets announced.
Yeah.
So it's Watch Dogs, the live action.
Right.
Because Watch Dogs was about a hacker who worked for a government agency but his niece was killed. So he used his unique hacking skills and a gun to go around getting revenge on the people who were responsible.
That's literally what this movie is about. It looks like it's got budget though. So basically this movie is Taken, and it has the part where a daughter gets kidnapped. And then it's got the part of Man on Fire because Jason Statham's character is a working man who works for Michael Pena's family. So Michael Pena is probably the guilty one, like in Man on Fire.
Yes.
And then Jason Statham's going after the daughter, like in Taken.
So he had his daughter kidnapped.
Yeah. For
some monetary or criminal purposes.
There's even a wife. They asked Jason Statham, "Oh, can you go please find our daughter? She was kidnapped." It's literally Man on Fire and Taken. Yeah. Because this ain't really a plot twist. Big part of the plot is the daughter is taken in a human trafficking ring.
Because didn't Anthony, what's his name? Jennifer Lopez's ex-husband?
Anthony.
A lot of parallels in this episode.
Mark Anthony. Yes.
Mark Anthony.
Yes, he was.
Wasn't he the one that orchestrated Dakota Fanning?
Correct. Is that? Did we not just describe?
Yeah.
It's literally the same movie.
Well, Hans Zimmer and Beyonce met.
They probably met. Sure.
Like she just needs to do a song that's like
Hans Zimmer in the back, Beyonce on the vocals. That would be pretty good.
Jesus.
Give her the Oscar.
Halle Berry does great distressed. She started a campaign on Twitter telling people to make sure they wear their distressed wigs to the theater.
Nope. But okay.
But,
I just have one of those around. So
that's how movies make $1 billion now. You have to turn it into an event. You gotta give people something to do at the theater.
Well, for the Union movie, she had a watch party.
And she had a lot of likes and retweets. A lot of people were talking about wearing their distressed wigs or going to buy a $15 wig from the hair store.
I ain't mad at it. All you gotta do is shake it out and put it on. You good to go.
Just shake and go. So shout out to that.
Yes, I'm looking forward to this.
So Ayo Edebiri plays a journalist who is invited to a private island owned by a rock star who disappeared but has resurfaced.
This is sounding familiar.
For a private listening party of his new music.
Sounds like another movie we just watched.
So it sounds like 3 movies.
Okay, I was thinking one. One for me is Blink Twice.
It's given Blink Twice.
Okay.
It is also given The Menu, which is Ralph Fiennes, who was a famous chef who disappeared and reappeared and invited everybody out to an island to try his special menu.
Which was people, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it wasn't people. It wasn't people.
It's not people? Are you
people?
I thought all this
That's
time.
Soylent Green. No,
Oh,
he wasn't making.
don't
them
tell
eat
me what
people.
it is.
Okay,
Because I ain't watched
it was
it.
regular food. The food was not the twist.
My bad. I
You
literally
should absolutely watch the
thought
menu.
this whole time he was feeding them people.
You should absolutely watch the menu because it's a really, really good Ralph Fiennes movie.
Okay.
So I want to know what about it everybody seems to be attracted to the most about.
Because it looks like a John Wick movie. And everybody loves John Wick. Now, here's my question. Where's the Halle Berry movie?
Yeah.
We doing all these spin-offs for character. Like, the Donnie Yen one makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. But that was literally the 4th movie. We got a whole character in the 3rd movie. They got a whole backstory we learned about, a little bit of it. And we just skip it right back.
Halle Berry's a no-name.
I don't
She was really good in the John Wick film. She had a character with a backstory. We had exposition about her character. She was the owner.
Things.
She was the owner of the hotel in that region.
She had a job.
She had dogs. She had attack dogs that like had tricks and did stuff on command. She had a daughter that she couldn't see because she had entered the world of being an assassin.
And we've jumped to some character.
The plot is there. It's written.
Has avenging her father. Oh, okay, girl.
But then it gets sinister where one of their daughter is doing teen things, sending nudes to boys in the school.
Don't do it, teens.
And
Don't do it.
Unfortunately, the boy made the mistake of sharing the nudes
Now,
to the
did
school.
you think that the boy did it? I got the impression that the AI did it and blamed it on the boy.
I don't know why the AI would do that.
Why?
And then, because then if,
Why not?
Because then why kill the boy? Like,
Yeah,
why set the boy up?
In the trailer, she sets the boy up to get in a car crash. I don't know. I took it as the AI is trying to like get people out of their lives. So
I definitely see that.
Setting people up.
I think it's kind of
But it's also
like,
a teenage boy, so sure.
and we also get a scene with Daphne Keane.
We did. And people were very upset about it being spoiled. And I'm like, yeah.
I can see why people are upset about it being spoiled.
You know what?
Because that would have been a prime time theater moment.
I've been doing my Googling and somebody came up with a good counterpoint of, for us that are very hardcore Marvel people, you're right. We want to be in a movie when all these big reveals. But for the marketing team and the general audience, they like, hey, guess what? There's another person in this. Don't you want to see this movie now?
But would general audiences know who she is?
If you've seen Logan and have not seen Deadpool, you might be like, I'm not interested in Deadpool. I don't want nothing to do with this. This looks... But
Good
if
luck.
you see that she's in this, you may be like, now, wait a second. I liked her in Logan, and let me go buy my ticket now. It's a tactic.
Okay, next stop on the trailer park is for another boring trailer. This is F1.
Now, hold on. I thought this trailer was a good one. No?
It was a good trailer.
Okay, but you just called it boring.
The movie looks like it's going to be good nap time material.
Jesus Christ. I thought this trailer actually gave more of like what the heck the plot was.
Who didn't know that the movie was about Freaky Friday? young versus old, both of them having to take a walk in each other's shoes.
Yeah. Only thing I would have loved to see is, or hear, I should say, was Galactus.
Yeah, I want to hear Ralph Ineson's voice.
They are saving it, and I'm like, are y'all gonna save it for the movie for real? I think they're gonna wait to the very last. Like the last trailer we get before them tickets go on sale is going to include Galactus' voice.
There's clearly a time jump too because she goes from pregnant to snatched.
Yeah, I noticed that.
I was like, where's
people posted?
That's not how invisibility works.
People posted 2 pictures, and I was like, she's super waist thin here, and she clearly pregnant on this street when she ain't in her outfit.
Snatch waist Sue with their pregnant suit.
Right.
So I think we're down to 2.
Sure.
Are we only down to 2 now?
I don't know.
Okay, well, anyway.
The islands are still there geographically.
What is this movie about? This movie is about Scarlett Johansson, who plays Zora.
Owen.
Who's the Owen of this movie?
She's the Owen.
Who is picking up Dr. Grant, who is being played by Jonathan Bailey. And
or Laura Dern.
Yeah, or Laura Dern. I think it's closer to Laura Dern because Dr. Grant seemed like more like Laura Dern.
Gave me more like Crocodile Hunter.
Yeah.
Than Laura Dern did.
Yeah.
Jonathan Bailey gave me more Laura Dern.
Laura Dern gave me more just like the scientist. Alan Grant gave me more Indiana Jones.
Boom.
And he's not giving Indiana Jones this. He seems like he doesn't want to be there.
Laura Dern for sure. There ain't no way our mama was watching that.
No, it wasn't The Road to Perdition. It was...
You're gonna find it.
Arg.
He's getting it, y'all. He getting it. I know what movie you talking about. but I don't remember the name. He's Googling. I'm about to run out of words for my made up song.
Frailty. That's what it's called.
Yes.
And not Road. She did just talk about some other Bill Paxton movie. Was it Bill Paxton? Was it this movie?
I don't think Road to Perdition had Bill Paxton in it.
Road to Perdition was Tom Hanks.
Yes.
I'm glad that we can stop talking about anticipating it, and we can stop talking about worrying about it, because now it's off the slate.
Right. And we can stop crying about where's Blade, where's Blade, where's Blade.
No one will know.
And by we, I mean I'm including myself in that.
Yes.
Because now we don't know.
We don't know.
And you know
we
what?
may never know.
It may never come.
That comes peace.
Right. It may, and that's okay. There are 12 other projects that Marvel needs to flesh out, and we can do those 12 instead. Yes. I'm fine.
And a bunch of loose ends that they still have the opportunity to tie up. So there's other things that they could be doing.
I made a whole thread post of things that we could do outside of Blade. I need a good twist.
Yeah, it's time to get back into the otherworldliness.
Yes, please.
Nolan. That's what we like
more
from
Tenet,
you.
more Inception.
Yes.
Those types of things.
I don't want anything to be as grounded as Batman from Christopher Nolan again. I want everything to be... Yeah, Batman was still even... Batman was more realistic than Inception and Tenet.
Oh, absolutely.
So I need him to go back to
weirdness.
I need to be confused by the end of the movie again.
You're right.
I need a Reddit thread.
There's no confusion about Oppenheimer.
No.
Or Batman.
No.
Okay, I feel you. We want sci-fi Nolan back. I don't like it.
A lot of people were guessing that he's probably the killer. That would suck, because that means Sydney didn't learn a thing.
That right, and I don't like that.
That means she didn't learn from the first movie.
I don't like it.
It's terrible.
If he's the killer, I'm gonna be very annoyed, because it's kind of like, really, y'all.
Because that ruins her character.
This is what we come back to.
Yeah.
I don't like. No, I'm saying no. Don't do it, y'all. Don't do it. Like they were like egging it on, like, oh, we haven't talked about it. You know, it may come up.
Just send him back to God.
Somebody, you need to send back to somebody.
Yeah,
God gonna be like, I don't want to. Yeah. I'm done. We're finished.
Yeah,
Canceled.
God can walk him
We're
downstairs.
full. We sat on a panel for Alien Romulus.
Yeah, so we got to see Fede Alvarez and
the whole cast. The whole cast was there, y'all. Great panel. We got like 3 different scenes from the movie.
Yes.
It looks spectacular.
It looks amazing. I definitely trust Fede Alvarez's vision. Mm-hmm. He has he's really in love with practical effects. Yeah. You can tell the commitment and the love for practical effects in the footage that we saw. We got full-length chest burster scenes. Yeah. We got action-packed scenes with some synthetics, some face huggers. We got a new phase in the xenomorph growth stage. Yeah. So like it now transitions from like chest burster, it sheds its little husk, and now it forms like a little egg-like cocoon where it holds up in until it grows to full size. It
goes from egg to xenomorph, and it looks nasty and good. Did you know? Because everybody's like, oh, it's gonna make $1 billion. Oh, it's gonna make, and it could. I'm not sure if it is or not. Do you know there's only one R-rated movie that's ever crossed $1 billion? Can you guess what it is? Don't click the link in our notes to cheat.
$1 billion?
There's only one. Want to give you a hint?
Sure.
It is superhero related.
R-rated movie, superhero related.
It ain't that many.
Cost $1 billion. Is it like loosely superhero related, or is it like one of those like niche superheroes?
I'll give you loosely.
Okay.
It's got a sequel coming out.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Oh, come on. You know what this is. It's coming out this year.
I'm really bad at this.
Here we go again.
A sequel that's coming out this year, and it's Star Wars? Star Wars got some comics.
Joker.
Oh, boo.
Joker. They gonna get, you know what they gonna get all them popular YouTubers we don't watch, to be honest. Because who else gonna watch this? Who else is gonna watch this?
The people who like Friday and the people who like all those popular YouTubers, I don't think are the same people.
You know, they're gonna try to bridge the gap.
That's not the same.
That's who they're gonna try to appeal to. Oh yeah, I was gonna say that's who they probably trying to appeal to. Maybe.
Yikes.
I don't know. I'm lukewarm.
And at this point, they're too old to be a mess.
I don't think nostalgia gonna work for this, unless like everybody else comes back outside of Bernie Mac. Rest in peace.
They'll have to go international though. They need to do like a casino that's not
Milan
in Vegas.
or something.
It's not in Vegas because at this point there's no discretion. Any casino owner that sees George Clooney coming knows they're gonna get robbed.
Like you ain't here for the buffet. Get out of here.
Exactly. So maybe they need to fastify it. They need to the Fast and Furiousification of the Oceans franchise.
Literally, because I think
we're now globetrotting and we're doing casinos around the world.
This is definitely, and I hate to say it, do I? I don't know. Cash grab.
Yeah,
for sure.
Absolutely.
And they trying to ride the wave of like, look, y'all, don't y'all remember George Clooney and Brad Pitt and, you know, the ragtag team? And we're just kind of like,
act.
We did, but we don't. Can you give us something else? John Wick is you had the perfect example with John Wick because they are chopping and dicing and slicing John Wick. And it's like, I actually think I'm done with this.
Yeah.
So
even though the ballerina doesn't look terrible, it doesn't look as good as John Wick. And it also still seems a little unnecessary. And,
yeah,
Halle Berry's character was better than whatever Ana de Armas' character is going to be in the John Wick universe. So,
Agreed.
And that's definitive.
Agreed.
So,
that's the tea.
Yeah.
Well, here's the tea.
So they removed it from the December 2026 calendar. That was supposed to be our launch pad of Star Wars back into the trilogy. They said, no, we're not ready yet. But here's Ice Age 6. Which I was like, there's 5 of these movies? I didn't even know.
Yeah. I mean, they can have fun with Ice Age. The real story is that Star Wars has moved, but that's not surprising.
If y'all not...
They just got a director. They're
not ready.
They got to go back to the drawing board.
Listen, I was about to say, if y'all not ready, go ahead, push.
Yeah.
Go ahead. If we are still here and alive and the economy is not trash and we can still afford to go to the movies, we will have time to go.
Same with Blade.
In 2027.
Like, don't talk to us about it until you have something to talk about.
It's interesting. Kevin Feige's statement about that was kind of like, y'all know as much as I know. It was like, oh, so y'all really ain't done nothing. So we finally got a premiere date for the Amazon Prime series Cross, which is going to star Aldous Hodge. It will be coming out on November 14th, and this show actually already has been approved for season 2. Alex Cross is based upon the character from the James Patterson movie or books, Alex Cross. Tyler Perry previously played Alex Cross in a movie, I think.
Yeah, and the worst one.
Okay, and has somebody played him before Tyler Perry? Oh, is this the Morgan Freeman's? No.
Yes. This is Morgan Freeman.
Is it?
We just watched Along Came a Spider.
I thought that was a different series.
No, it's Morgan Freeman. He's Alex Cross.
Oh.
Wow.
Sorry. I love Along Came. I love the Morgan Freeman ones. Sorry. I love the Morgan Freeman ones. My mind blanked to realize that this was
the girls.
Thank you. Okay.
And he is a superhero.
It was a chipmunk.
And he's a
squirrel,
not a chipmunk. He's a squirrel.
A character named Chip who's a squirrel.
Mm-hmm. And guess who Chip is?
Like,
guess what Chip's powers are?
To transform into a dog?
No, Chip is a lantern.
Oh.
So I think it's very interesting that people are all riled up about him having a dog when we're going to get a squirrel Green Lantern in this movie.
Does he stay in squirrel form?
Yeah, he stays. He's a squirrel in a Green Lantern suit with a ring.
Is he like? So he's like a Frog Thor or Frog Loki?
Yes.
Okay.
And his name is Chip. And there's been leaked set photos of them carrying around a squirrel in like this glass case.
There's so many people in this movie.
So I do think that Chip might make a surprise appearance in this movie.
Now, I know Kevin, assistant, probably was like, whatever you do this morning, don't check your phone. Yeah. He'd be like, I'm sorry, what's going on? Just don't open Twitter. And then he probably opened Twitter, and then the rest of his hair probably fell out.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kevin. You picked the actors who like to talk. Show folk.
But, I mean, who wouldn't want to, at the end of the day, who wouldn't want this news to be out in the world? That means from today,
$1 billion
until the movie comes out, people are going to be anticipating Black Panther 3. Like, the anticipation will never die until the film comes out.
Listen, and if he's not in it,
people are ready to spend the money to see it now.
Ready to burn the house down if something don't work out.
The trailer is going to be the most viewed trailer in 24 hours because we would have been waiting for it since today.
And we probably not get it's 2024. Let's say Black Panther 3 is definitely not coming out next year.
Denzel Washington in Hall H. Are you kidding me?
Maybe 2026?
Like Denzel Washington in Hall H at Comic-Con?
Somebody said he the killer based on how he looked. I was like, that seems rude.
That makes sense. The last killer was Jack Quaid.
Now, what if he is the boyfriend of Sydney's daughter, which we discussed, and he mad and he's the killer?
He's absolutely the killer.
I
think he's the killer. He's the killer, and Celeste is gone. So
I don't like how we trying to figure this movie out.
I think she's a goner. So what we do know for a fact is they're within the age of Sydney's newly retconned teenage daughter. So they're probably going to be her friends.
You're
or
right.
at least attendants of the school, so or in her, because the killer picks a friend group, so they're going to be in the friend group.
Yeah, you're right. Maybe it's Celeste. Switch it up.
I'm very interested who the opening kill is. Aliens created humans. And then he created mankind.
Right. Yeah.
And that's the opening scene of Prometheus. And after a while, they sent down a representative.
Okay.
To teach humankind about the reason we were made. But they rejected the teachings, and that is how the legend of Jesus came.
I was like, Jesus is somewhere in the story.
In alien lore, in Ridley Scott alien lore, that is how the legend of Jesus spread across the world.
Right, which I thought was like interesting. So whatever Ridley Scott been holding on to for all these years for another movie, I'm very excited.
And that is why in Prometheus, our makers wanted to kill us because
we were stupid.
We killed Jesus. And they were like, experiment failed.
Terminate him. Mission canceled. Yeah. I'm very curious of whatever. I'm sure he already knows like what it's going to be.
Oh, yeah. He's good. Like that to pull that out of your mind. And the budget going to be. You have to have ideas.
Budget going to be $500 million. I don't care. What's funny is, I think we've said this a couple times. This comes out the same weekend as Wicked. So people are already trying to think of like that weekend name. I've seen Wickednator. Somebody called it Galactic.
I don't think it's working.
Gladiate. No, yeah. It don't roll off the tongue like Barbenheimer.
Which is gonna be longer?
That's a good question. Wicked's like 5 hours, and Gladiator's probably also like 5 hours. So let me check real quick.
5 hours.
2 hours and 28 minutes for Gladiator 2.
Okay, Wicked is 2 hours and 40 minutes. So
Wicked's gonna beat it.
Longest
by 12
crap
minutes.
for both. But Wicked is going to be longer.
Yeah.
Probably might feel a little bit longer because of the singing.
Probably. Now, are we watching Wicked?
We should probably just do the double feature. Knives Out 3 adds Josh Brolin and Thomas Hayden Church to the cast list. Josh Brolin is Thanos. Thomas Hayden Church is the Sandman.
It's Josh Brolin. He's the killer.
They're all been villains. I don't know.
He's the killer.
They've both been villains.
Remember I said it's always been like an MCU person? Now they added 2 people. It's definitely Josh Brolin.
At this point, it's not even intentional.
It's not.
You can't not cast MCU people.
You have to.
So
it's like a good luck charm.
This is going to come out July 24th, 2026, which is going to be 1 week after his Nolan movie release on July 17th.
Somebody's moving.
Nolan.
Oh, you think so?
Spider-Man is one of the highest grossing superhero films.
Well,
consistently. And
the reason why they can't be back to back is because what Nolan does do is lock up IMAX screens.
And what Disney don't do
is give up IMAX.
Exactly. Disney's like,
somebody gonna have to do something.
Disney's gonna be like, you thought you had WB, Chris.
WB
ain't never coming over here.
WB ain't
the
Disney.
Way Disney is about to treat you. Sony and Disney refuse to take L's when it comes to Spider-Man specifically. Spider-Man stuff like Venom, sure, throw that to the wolves.
Who cares?
Craven, who cares?
But Spider-Man himself. I was gonna say Nolan don't play, but it's Disney.
Disney plays less.
So. They don't play at all. Actually,
actually, they don't.
To be the happiest place on earth, they don't play at all.
The mouse is a gangster.
Pew 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 pew. And I guess you can kind of be like, oh, duh, that's obvious. But Vision Quest is the third part of a trilogy, with WandaVision being first, Agatha being second, and then I guess Vision Quest is going to be our third part of this whole saga.
That's interesting. I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. So if
they're supposed to be tied together, there better be some Wanda and Agatha, because what are the threads?
Next bullet point. Sources say that there's a possibility that Wanda Maximoff will show up in this series. Yeah. Now, here we go. Don't play with me. Don't play. Like, if you're going to show her in a series, then Miss Mama need to be in a movie immediately after that. I don't want it's a finger, it's a toe, it's the back of her head.
And they tried being real funny talking about sources. Listen, let me tell you something. Sources say there's a possibility Wanda will appear. Let me tell you something. if she's
they better not be
in
TMZ.
it, who's gonna watch it?
It's not gonna be TMZ. Shout out to Taylor Russell, and also shout out to Taylor Page.
Yes,
I know you, girl. I know
Taylor's
you
all around. Last scoop of crunch is the Resident Evil movie finally has a release date. It's going to release on September 18th, 2026 in theaters. It is going to be directed once again by Zach Krieger, we mentioned before in the past.
Yep.
Previous film he directed was Barbarian. I like that. Cheryl, I saw it. Cheryl did not. Cheryl won't.
I'm not watching.
Cheryl's not watching that.
I ain't watching this.
She won't watch Resident Evil either.
Nope.
But, which is sad because this will probably be the best one. Because it'll be actually based on like the game lore.
People seem very excited.
Which should have been based on in the very beginning.
I just think it's funny that Resident Evil keep getting movies. Period.
That's because
who's paying for this?
One man continue to cast his wife in all the movies,
but somebody kept paying for it. If we gonna take it where we have an older actor playing it, like Chris Hemsworth, because at first I was like, is this gonna be like a teen?
Yeah, usually Prince Charming is like in his 20s.
Right, because all the princesses are like in their 20s. But if we're gonna do like an older, aged up Prince Charming who's like been through some things, having like a retrospective on life, Chris Hemsworth has really good comedic timing. He can be funny. So I'm down for that. He
was really funny in Ghost. I mean, he's funny in everything. He's funny in Thor. He's really funny in Ghostbusters. He was even funny in Furiosa.
Yeah.
He had a lot of scenes of comedic timing, even though he was insane in that movie.
He's a good pick if the angle they're going for is like we described, like what is the name of the movie again? I forgot that fast.
Enchanted.
If it's like an Enchanted, I can see this and I'm on board. Now, if it's something different and it's like a melodrama, I'm checking out.
Yeah, it's good for them for no longer doing a break. But I do think they're still just going to do weekly.
Nope.
They're not doing like a binge, unfortunately.
Y'all start just all at once, y'all.
They got to keep the churn low.
Listen, okay. And it's Amazon. Nobody's unchurning from that. Anywho.
You going to cancel your Prime?
No, not for no. I will if they do another break for Invincible. How about that?
Next scoop of crunch is we're getting a live action. Let's be quick on this one. We're getting a live action Viewmaster toy movie.
Why?
At Sony. Why
Sony?
Shouldn't y'all be making a Null movie?
Shouldn't they just give all their rights to everything back to the people they got them from and move on?
Viewmaster movie?
Well, it's gonna be a horror. Just make it a horror movie. Make it cheesy.
Okay, you know what?
And let's move on.
A Viewmaster horror movie would be interesting.
And if it turns into a horror movie, I better get credit.
Dumb, but interesting.
It could be like the Cocaine Bear. Dumb horror movie.
I don't want to encourage that. We'll know if she's Miles' mom if they cast a black cop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If they cast a black man, period, I'm gonna be like, the connections.
Yeah, we'll know that. We'll know Miles is about there. To be there are no other black cops in Spider-Man
even
lore.
Even if he's not in the movie, it's a setup.
Yeah.
For the next movie, and be like, okay.
Yeah. So we'll know that Miles is gonna be present with some additional cast. But you know, the whole rhetoric now is that people want prestige. They don't want.
No, they don't.
They don't want Marvel slop.
Listen,
everything is prestige, independent films that have meaning and isn't about the MCU and Marvel slop.
Listen, Lilo and Stitch, a remake, is literally about to make a record of Memorial Day weekend openings.
Disney remake slop.
Record.
Doesn't count if it's slop.
Memorial. It's literally about to make its budget back. This weekend, I do not. Minecraft has made $900 million. I don't hear nothing about
Nobody wants live action remake slop, Cheryl. What do you not understand about that?
The internet is not a real place.
So it's described as Bob-busting woman who seems all wrong for him. So you know what this says to me? This is Adam's Family Values.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one. That's a good one.
Pastels?
Man, that's a good movie. I have a meme from that where she's sitting in the car laughing after she thinks she killed old boy. She's like crying and she turns into a laugh.
Yeah.
That is a good movie.
So she's going to be Joan Cusack.
She is.
And that's perfect. Because Ariana Grande is, we learned in Wicked, she's definitely a character actor.
She is. I ain't seen her in none of her. She's a Disney kid, right?
Yes.
I saw nothing Disney. I don't listen to her music. I know some of the hits, but not for real. I liked her in Wicked.
Yeah, so she was great.
I was like, you know what? I might watch this because I skipped 3. Yeah. I have no idea what Meet the Parents 3 was about.
The role of Glinda was perfect for her.
Yes. I will say, I like Tiana Taylor in movies. Mm-hmm. Glad that she is continuing her movie track because I think she's done with music now, which also likes her music. So at least we still get her in something. And then good for Sasha Kaye because they totally took the Supergirl role away from her. after they redid all of DC, and I felt kind of bad for her.
And that was the one positive thing they had to say about that movie.
Yeah.
Was her performance as Supergirl, and it's sad going back to watch that Zoom call that she got when they gave her the job. So
and then totally recast her, and I was like, well, dang, y'all didn't give her a chance to continue the role. It didn't seem fair.
This is a great way to bounce back. Two people who are never not working is Ben Affleck and Matt Damon.
They doing something all the time.
Get in a movie with them and get, positive word of mouth from that film, and you'll work forever.
And being in a Netflix movie is not a bad thing nowadays.
No, it's not, because it's not like movies that go to theaters are doing any better. Cough, cough, Joker.
Borderlands, Megalopolis. We can go all day. What am I about to say about this?
That is anybody going to see it? Or if it's better than the show?
Where is Batman Beyond?
It's not coming.
Where is it?
Batman Beyond isn't happening.
Why are we doing Teen Titans? I don't want Teen Titans.
Batman Beyond isn't happening.
I don't want Teen Titans. Do you hear me? I don't want it. Give me Batman Beyond. I don't care about no kids. I don't care about these kids.
Not happening.
We already did Teen Titans.
We did. We did a show.
The show.
Several seasons, which means you gave people several opportunities to watch it, and they chose not to.
Right. And then the writing was a little kooky. But,
yeah.
Oh. Anywho, that's our DC news for the Bunch of Crunch. I'm going on to the next thing. One last final thought is the biggest takeaway I have out of this movie is I'm on Lion King 2.
Yes, I do want Lion King 2.
I need the OG songs on the biggest screen with the loudest speaker from Lion King 2.
Lion King 2 Simba's Pride had a great story.
Oh, so good.
So good. Music was so good.
So good.
Had a great story as well, which is very rare for Disney animated straight to VHS sequels.
And we didn't ever get it in the theaters. I feel like we deserve a chance.
Simba's Pride was a theater-worthy film.
I know everybody's anti-CGI remakes and sequels. I don't care what y'all think. Y'all can't even vote in y'all best interest.
And that's...
Yeah.
It kind of reminded me of another Scream reference.
Okay.
This is another, once again,
yes.
It's coming back up because it's a requel.
Oh my God, he's making a requel. A what?
It's a requel of WandaVision. Per the definition of a requel from Scream, story-wise.
You're right.
It's a new addition to an ongoing storyline with new main characters supported by and related to legacy characters.
Okay.
They even killed off their lead so that the franchise could survive beyond them, which was Wanda. So it's a requel.
So you're saying Agatha All Along is a requel?
Yeah.
A good requel.
A good requel.
This movie is very much the first movie in terms of plot, in terms of these movies are not like groundbreaking.
No.
They're very much like it's a Saturday or Sunday, you want to relax and watch a good movie. You ain't gotta think too much about. There's some like trickery going on, but it's pretty straightforward and to the point. This one is the same. I will say that this one is funnier. Mm-hmm. So the back and forth between Ben and John was very good. We get more screen time from the kids that are at the center.
I called it Xavier School for Gifted
Yeah,
youngsters.
we get more of Xavier School. We get more kids there. They're not quite X-Men, but they're kind of close.
They're close. I mean,
it could be the X-Men without superpowers. They got computer powers.
Yeah, which is almost scarier.
Yeah. So we can talk about that.
I have one thing
I forgot
that I liked about the film.
Okay, you go first.
I like Pandora. I like the planet itself as a setting. I like that it was a planet that had a bunch of different locations. It had a town. It had like catacombs full of crazy people.
Caves and whatnot.
And the best part about it is I liked how it was marketed. The whole planet was marketed for vault hunting. That's my one like. Okay.
My two likes are I like that Cate Blanchett did something different. I don't know if that's for the movie
it's different
or for her more so than anything, but she's never played like a ragtag team character type before, right? And I like that they kept the movie at a reasonable length. Like I'm glad we wasn't there for 2.5 hours.
It was an hour and 45 minutes. I mean,
42.
They tried to respect our time. I appreciate that.
Okay.
We know we get a fight between Captain America and Red Hulk at the end. I thought that was good and believable. I liked the way they choreographed that. I was concerned how they were going to make it make sense for Sam to fight the Red Hulk.
I think everybody was.
But I mean, because in the comic books, because he fights all types of people in the comic books, but you super suspend your disbelief because it's an illustration.
It's written, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. In a film, when they have to like make everything kind of serious. It's like, okay, how are you guys going to pull this off? They pulled it off in a way that made sense.
And Sam gets hurt in this.
Because, I mean, he is a soldier. So.
Right. But he obviously been practicing, especially with the shield. But he gets some jab, stab, and punchy punches.
I think people forget that before Sam met Steve, Sam wasn't like an NPC who had no skills. He wasn't like a blank canvas. He was a soldier. He was a retired soldier, and he was already the Falcon before he met Steve.
Director Todd Phillips said that the first Joker was not set up to be a sequel. So here's what happened. The studio was like, y'all made $1 billion movie. I'm gonna need y'all to make a sequel. And they were like, no, thank you. They were like, here's $20 million. How about now? And they were like, sure.
Yeah. If you handed this script to ChatGPT, even ChatGPT would be like, come on.
Also, Todd Phillips said when he made the first Joker that the only reason why they used Joker was because he wanted to hide a real movie in a comic book movie.
Yeah. So
he basically just used Joker as like a scapegoat to push a different movie.
And that kind of explains how this movie ends up.
Exactly.
That makes the more Todd and Joaquin talk, this movie makes more and more sense.
Right.
Yeah.
I want a documentary about the behind the scenes of the making of this movie. That's what I want. So Jay, hit us with the plot. I did like the use of the young crew versus your standard older veteran crew. And I think I like that because it kind of gave a little bit of, I don't call it innocence, but a little bit of like, they don't know no better because they're young kind of situation.
And that made it a lot better because what really frustrates me about all sci-fi movies are they're always built up of a cast of professionals, mostly scientists.
That's been working doing this job forever.
That got this, role and their first instinct is to touch stuff.
Yes.
And these kids are kids. They're not scientists. They're like scavengers. So when they touch stuff, you're like, oh, that's stupid to do because you don't know what it is. But it's less frustrating because they don't know better.
All right. So this was a good John Wick spinoff. Like if I had to envision a John Wick spinoff movie that I would enjoy, this was it.
Sure had low expectations.
I did not.
She was at the bottom of the barrel.
It had nothing to do with Ana de Armas.
No.
And I think it was just, and I hate to say it, because everybody says it, but this didn't feel necessary. I was kind of like, a John Wick spinoff out for a character that has not been in any of these movies. Now, as we have said on this podcast plenty of times, if you wanted to give a spinoff to anybody, it should have been who?
Oh, Halle Berry.
Thank you. I was saying you're thinking too long.
Sorry.
But people were saying, I thought he was going to look something like that because people were like, oh my God, I was like shaking, crying, and throwing up. And I was like, well, what does he look like?
The marketing definitely did the job in selling the spook factor with Nicolas Cage. He is spooky. He is scary. Yes. But looks-wise, he doesn't look that creepy. He looks regular world creepy, crazy.
I was going to say, you could probably find somebody like this in the street somewhere. You would just cross the other way.
I think the characters were flat.
Okay.
I think all of the characters were flat.
As somebody who has not seen her previously, I will admit that this did not encourage me to see anything else.
I've seen just about everybody in this movie in something else that
Correct.
They were much better in than this. Everybody,
totally agree.
This is probably the worst performance from everybody as actors, but they are good actors.
Fair.
And the movie is not bad, but the characters
are not great.
Just dry. Everybody's so dry. I like the fact that the first half of the film is shot like a play.
Like a play? What do you mean?
When they're all the scenes in the bunker makes you feel like you're watching a stage play.
Oh,
because you only get one view of the room.
That's it.
From the window, and it looks like they're on a stage.
Okay.
So it makes you feel like the sequences when they're in the bunker being watched and standing and performing, quote unquote, it makes you feel like you're watching like a play.
That's a good setup because that's like
you're in the audience of a play.
Right, because the watchers are basically watching them like a play.
Because
like
we
TV.
would kind of be the watchers, I guess. Right.
Okay, you're right. Yeah.
It seems like Eddie is worn down and he wants Venom gone. But the dialogue they give Eddie makes it seem like Eddie
BFFs.
Really likes him. It's like, but your acting conflicts with that. It's like you're in a relationship and you know the other person doesn't love you, but they're lying to your face. And that's what it looked like.
Eddie has been taken hostage and it seemed like Eddie is over it. And Eddie's kind of like, the way he talks to Venom might not sound, well, it kind of does though. Like there's one part in the movie where Venom has taken over Eddie and Eddie's making a drink and Eddie's just kind of like, I don't want to do this.
And it makes it hard to watch because it's like, this guy seems miserable. The movie seems like, the whole film is like watching somebody have a nervous breakdown. Yeah. And there's nothing they can do about it.
He looks like garbage through most of this movie.
Then they try to do the emotional parts of Eddie and Venom's friendship. And it's like, well, Eddie seems like he hates Venom. It seems like this has ruined his... So what I was going to say was that even though I don't think it's a horror film and it's a family film, I do like the fact that they kept like the special effects a little gross.
This one was grosser than the first one. Yeah. For sure.
I like the fact that what I liked about in the first one was when they put on their scary faces and she had like the big teeth mouth and he had like the big nose. It's like, okay, this is freaky and creepy and unsettling and gross. And it's cute, but it's nightmare fuel. And I like the fact that they did that here too. Like when he opens up his guts and spills his guts all over the place. That's pretty gross.
Little baby Beetlejuice nasty.
He's always got like juice or ooze coming out of him.
That was a little extra nasty. I was like, I actually don't need that.
So I like the fact that they kept it gross.
He did. It's definitely still Tim Burton.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's got him written all over it. And I guess when you go to a Tim Burton movie, that's what you expect, and that's what we got. Yeah. So I like that for sure.
But I thought everybody did a great job with acting.
I
thought that Naomi Ackie and Aaliyah Shawkat's friendship was very believable and fun and
off
funny.
The bat.
There's a scene where they are going to the first dinner on the island. Yes. And they're roomed next to each other and they're dressed in like sarongs. Right. And they're like greet each other like
very bougie.
Like
very
50s
foo-foo.
New York women. And they
I like their friendship.
They do an east-west chant to teach themselves how to walk properly in heels and their roommates. So they sold me on the friendship.
Very quickly, yes.
I did like the friendship.
Yep.
My standouts would probably be Wunmi Mosaku as Ozzy. I really liked her character. And Cayman. Cayman would be my standout character just because we spent a lot of time with Cayman by himself on his own things.
So for me, I also liked everybody. I actually think Levi the robot was a standout. Mainly because it's a robot, and in the series, this is not a spoiler. I don't know if she's if you consider her an AI robot, but she's intelligent. So she's kind of like
I think she's as capable as Jarvis used to be.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, fair enough. And she goes through a transformation in the series, and the way she does it is kind of like, it's kind of creepy. Yeah. And at the end, you're kind of like, oh, girl, for real? So I think the robot Levi was a standout, but all of the characters were good. The acting was good from everybody, but I thought the plot was a little thin.
Wow, you're stealing my non-spoiler notes.
I'm gonna stop there.
No, go ahead.
No, that's what I got.
Oh, that's all you got?
Now you fill in what I didn't get.
So it's a slow burn. It is. Check. I put it as a slow burn in the beginning, middle, and end.
Out the whole way through.
It is a slow. I mean, between the parts where the really interesting kills happen, and all the kills are interesting. Yeah. All the kills are good.
I'll give you that.
But between all the kills, it is slow. Yeah. It takes its time. And that is a matter of taste. That doesn't mean it's bad, but it does mean it is slow.
I was like, take that as you will, but
taking your time can be good for some things. Some things taking your time can be a bad thing.
I mean, it's simmering. It is simmering the whole time.
It is.
Like, if I'm stuck, I would not be going to no strange man's house, but that's what they do. Right. If I'm stuck, the first thing I'm going to do when I realize I'm locked in there and it's two of us and one of them, we ganging up. Right. It's gang on site. Like chairs, books, candles, knives, forks, my foot, my fingers, like eyeballs is getting gouged out. We are fighting. Yeah. I will find a way. With you dead, it don't matter. We can take all day to get up out of here.
Listen.
I know you got at least some food in here.
That was one of my notes. Kill him now and think on heaven later.
Hello.
This film is not scary.
This is not a horror film.
This is not a horror film in the slightest. And it's not one of those things where it's like horror is subjective. Horror is subjective. Horror's not here, though.
Let me tell you.
Horror's not in this film. Horror's not in the room
horror
with us.
Horror don't live here anymore.
The presence is in the room with us, but the horror is not.
The presence forgot it was supposed to be a horror movie.
Yeah, the ghost forgot it was supposed to be scary. Yeah. It was a little disappointing in that way. I went ready to be scared. It's kind of like getting on a roller coaster and then the ride gets shut down before it takes off.
Or the big dip is like not a dip.
Yeah.
You're like, what the heck was that?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I prepared myself to be, my stomach to be in my throat.
I was prepared to be scared. And then at some point in the film, I would rather have been scared.
This is like the Menu but not as good as
Yeah.
Giving You. It gives. So I will say I'm happy that it was not like Blink Twice. We were both worried. Jay even pointed out something. And he was like, "Oh, we about to go there," and I was like, "Oh, we about to leave."
I felt like it was about to go there.
Because
I was listening too.
Last episode, I was like, if it goes there, I might walk out because I don't want no more Blink Twice type movies.
Yeah.
We review Blink Twice. Please go check it out. It is a pretty decent movie. But anywho, this movie gives the menu, but it don't execute like the menu. Ayo and John Malkovich were fine as far as acting in this. I would have actually liked to spend more time with the other people in the movie because they're just there. And they have parts because things happen to them. Yeah. But it's just kind of like, I mean, we are 99%, 95% of the movie, we are just with Ayo and John. And I would have liked to have been with somebody else.
This was a fun movie. I didn't expect it to be as fun. I expected it to be campy and ridiculous. It wasn't as campy as I thought it was going to be, but that was fine because it made up with just regular comedy. Yeah. Scream is going to come up several times during this review, so I'm not going to fight it. It's a slasher. Where I thought that Scream has the perfect balance of horror and comedy. This one is more of a 50-50 balance of horror and comedy. Yeah. Like, comedy is definitely elevated higher in this than it is in, like, the other Scream movies. Some of the scenes the characters are in, it's not even a focal point of the plot or anything. And it's just like, why is this happening? Why is this in the background? What is she doing? Yes, I agree with that. They definitely just went 50-50 between horror and comedy. You can't get too scared because it's funny. And that's what makes it fun. There are too many characters on the side of the quote-unquote good in this movie. It makes it hard to attach yourself. We're supposed to attach ourselves to Lucius, but he is not the only good guy, one. Two, he kind of seems to be the least interesting good guy out of the lineup of good guys that we have in this movie, which is weird.
Very weird.
And I think that's what's causing the split between not feeling for Lucius like we did for Maximus, is because Maximus got to exist on his own and they gave Lucius an ensemble cast. It felt like the movie was pushing the Game of Thrones and the chess, not checkers part of the film with Macrinus, Denzel Washington's character. Yeah. They made that like they put all of the storytelling in that part of the film. Yeah, and then
I would agree.
The storytelling on Lucius's part of the film wasn't interesting. His just action sequences were great though.
Sure.
I don't think there's anything to be divided in this movie about. Okay. I don't think there's range to have separate opinions about multiple things in this movie.
You're just kind of like, sure, it's I watched it. It's a movie.
Yeah. Okay. It's like a ham sandwich. It's like there's ham, there's cheese, there's bread.
Mustard. A little squirt of mustard.
Yeah. But it's a ham sandwich.
And it fulfills your hunger.
It's filling. It's there. It's quick.
Okay. Easy to put together.
Easy to put together. Okay. And non-offensive, unless you don't like ham.
Right.
So
just put some turkey breast.
So I think the movie was fine.
Okay.
The cinema score, the critic score make sense
to you.
I don't have enough to fight against those things.
It's not worth the squabble.
No, but it was fine. All of the cameos, they give them things to do.
They have parts.
All of the characters have parts.
They're not like background, behind the counter serving fries or nothing. They're like, they actually doing something.
They get multiple lines that are good.
Scenes.
Not only Deadpool is funny, all of the cameo characters have really good dialogue and lines.
Agree.
We get good backstory for any of the characters that are cameos in this. They get really good action sequences. So this is probably the best Marvel has handled cameos.
Yes. You said better than No Way. What was the last Spider-Man movie?
No Way Home.
Yes.
Yeah, I enjoyed these cameos a lot better than No Way Home. The moments that weren't like dialogue heavy or didn't have like action going on, I was paying attention to what the people were doing because somebody's supposed to be a liar.
Right.
And it doesn't have to be Cate Blanchett. It's heavily implied that it could be Cate Blanchett. You don't know who it is.
The trailer heavily implies it. So you go into the movie like, oh, Kate up to something. Yeah. And then as the movie goes, you're like,
maybe?
Is it just Kate?
Is it just Kate?
Is it Kate by herself?
Right.
Is it not Kate?
Is it not Kate at all? So
what the heck is going on?
You have to really do a good job of paying attention to not only things people say, but things people do. The only thing I'll add is if this was a Netflix series, it'd be called House of Crosses.
Okay.
Because it definitely gave original season 1 when it was really, 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 really good.
Such a good show.
Before the real conspiracy.
Yeah.
writing, acting, ambiance, setting, music. It was very much
House of Cards had a good cinematography too.
Yeah, it was basically House of Cards, but based in the Catholic Church.
Yeah.
I thought that Naomi Ackie was probably my standout.
Fair enough.
In this.
I would put her and Robert together, but she did really good in this.
She did.
She did really good. I hope this propels her to be in more movies.
Yeah. She's good with action.
She is good with action. She's good with action. She's good with emotion. She's good with and we kind of saw that in Blink Twice, where she can kind of play like somebody who's like scared and danger, but she can also play somebody who's gonna fight and kick your behind. Yeah. So that was good. So I liked her in this. The other supporting cast, I was kind of like, meh. You're here. That's cool. That's nice. So
yeah.
Aaron, we already said this, but Aaron Taylor Johnson is much, 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 much better in this than Craven, y'all.
Yes.
If you ain't seen Craven, don't bother. But
who knew actors are better when you give them better
if
things
you are an Aaron Taylor Johnson fan, you would quite enjoy him in this. I think he might have been close to one of my favorites, if not my favorite.
He was a standout
in this.
I do think that there were great performances from everybody. I don't think there was a bad performance for me. I'm the opposite. I think my standout was Lily Rose Depp.
Interesting.
I think that she did a really good job.
Okay.
Because she reminded me of a favorite of yours and mine, White Fave.
Mia Goth?
No. Older. Favorite James Bond girl.
Oh, Eva Green?
Yeah, she reminds me of Eva
Green.
Really? Have you ever watched Penny Dreadful?
No.
Yeah, she reminds me of Eva Green in Penny Dreadful. And I liked the side characters because the town felt real.
It did.
The town felt like they had people in
movie?
It. Killers of the Flower Moon.
Boom, there it is.
That's exactly what it reminded me of.
Yep.
The town in this reminded me of the town in Killers of the Flower Moon without taking 3 hours to get there. The town felt alive. Everybody was a person that had backstory. We got backstory.
Correct.
Delroy Lindo's character was known for being the blues player around town. The Chows were known for being the grocery store owners and the sign painters.
Correct.
Everybody had like a purpose. Preacher Boy was known for being Preacher Boy.
Nico Minoru. Now, what's her origin? Because I've never heard of
She's from The Runaways.
Okay.
Which used to have, which one is one of the live action MCU series that went to Hulu.
Oh, I've heard of Runaways. Okay. Okay.
So when the Runaways are a group of superpowered teenagers who are the children of superpowered adults who are all evil. That's why they call themselves the Runaways, because they're the kids of villains. So they all band together and run away from home.
That is just like the show Descendants on Disney.
Oh, is it?
That's literally what Descendants is.
Well, that was the Runaways in the comics.
It was the kids of the evil villains from all the Disney movies.
They probably took it from Marvel Comics.
That is hilarious.
But that's what the Runaways was. They were the kids of all the villains from various villains across the MCU.
Gotcha. Okay, so we get Nico, who I liked.
And she's a witch in the comics.
And runs away, gets in her car and leaves. I have no idea what's going on with that woman.
We don't know what the board is. Maybe she's scared of the board. Is the board like aliens?
It's AI. The board is AI.
Oh, the board could be robots.
I don't think the board is real.
Yeah.
And I don't know who Natalie talking to.
It makes sense if microdata processing was just them doing stuff for AI.
Natalie's probably talking to somebody's consciousness like Zemo.
Yeah.
Not Zemo. Whoever in the Winter Soldier. Yeah, him. This is probably that.
Armin Zola.
Yeah, she's probably talking to Zola.
Yeah.
She got to be.
It could be Zola.
I don't believe it's people. I don't believe it's people.
I liked all of the acting. I liked the background characters, like you said. They gave me like Scream vibes a little. Because if you rewatch the first Scream, the background actors in all the Screams are like super animated or do like weird things.
Because you're supposed to be like in a killer environment. Okay.
Whenever Wes Craven usually directs the background actors in Scream to react to what the main characters are saying. Okay. So if you rewatch Scream 1, when Randy's talking about there's always a reason to kill your girlfriend, the girl in the row behind him who's looking at DVDs looks at Randy, then looks at everybody else to see if anybody heard what he said.
Okay.
And that's kind of how the background actors in Wicked act.
Right.
They're reacting to the things that the main characters are saying, but they're not in the conversation.
Right, or doing.
Yeah,
okay, you're right.
Yeah.
I didn't notice that till you pointed it out.
The way that they react to everything Elphaba says and does, or just her presence in the background, is hilarious. And I like the way that they
that was a nice touch.
paid attention to doing that.
So let's get into our non-spoiler thoughts. You go first.
I thought the movie was okay.
Uh-huh.
I didn't think it was great. I don't think the comedy hit as much as I would have liked it to. In a movie about killing unicorns, it should have been a lot funnier than it actually was.
Okay.
But I think that was part of the reason of that was because some of the characters were extremely unlikable, and that ruined some of the comedy for me.
Yeah. I will give you that. Some of them are made to be unlikable on purpose, and that is funny. But I think one particular character was unlikable, and you're like, "This is not funny."
Yeah, in a way that's not funny.
Right. This is not even entertaining.
Yes.
In the least bit. And you're a comedian.
Or even, yeah.
Or you known for your comedy.
Yeah.
So. Because they appear to have not done any press screenings. So on Friday, before we went to the movies, there were 0 critic ratings, and then by the time we got to the movies, some people popped it in.
I'm not sure if that helped or hurt it.
I don't think it did anything.
I'm not sure if it helped it because you don't
looked.
get any type of word of mouth if you don't send it to critics.
Right.
I don't think it hurt it.
Because the reviews wasn't going to be good. No.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So.
And currently, at this very moment in time, there is no audience score on Rotten Tomatoes.
No, we are here to score it. We're the audience.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is now called a popcorn meter. By the way, that's a bit of news I don't think we talked about is Rotten Tomatoes changed their verbiage.
Boo. The proper way to rate things is Nicole Kidman's, which is what we're going to do.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
It's a good time.
Yeah.
I was entertained. I had questions. There was some thought-provoking questions I had because of the writing. The characters are there. Okay? They throw away, but they there. There was some I liked. No, let me take that back. I didn't mostly like any of them. No, I didn't really particularly care for any of the characters.
Who likes a Final Destination character?
Right. And they were set up that way because you ready for them to go. Right?
Yeah.
You ready for them to get it, whatever's going to come to them.
Yeah.
So you don't get really attached to anybody. I don't care about anybody for real. I was literally, there was one point in the movie where I was like, I'm ready for somebody to die. Like I said earlier, I definitely had my popcorn bucket in front of my eyes a couple times because some things popped out. And I had like one eye open and one eye closed because I didn't want to miss it because I thought it was going to be good. There's a couple background shots that freak you out. The tension in this movie was
and the thing is, the setup. They set up the jump scares. You see where he is going
and you still
before
jump.
He pops out, and you still jump.
I'm just like, I knew this was about to happen, and I still jump. So that was good. This movie had a lot of tension, which I like it, which is crazy to say, but I like in horror movies when I'm like my shoulders is up to my ears the whole time, and my popcorn bucket is like halfway over my face.
Yeah,
that's my kind of horror movie. So I thought that was good. Okay.
So I think the live action aspect of the people
added more personality to
Absolutely.
the characters. Okay.
Yeah. The visual effects were great.
Yeah, Stitch fit
right in. I was
looking
for a flaw and I couldn't find one.
Nope.
Yeah.
The aliens, Plinky and what's his name? Jumbo?
Jumbo. Jumbo and Blinky? Yes.
Jumbo and Blinky?
Look good. The effects in them were good. The effects in the Grand Councilwoman were good. And it's not just like the effects of them on an Earth-based planet. The effects of the opening is in space. It opens just like the first movie does.
Okay.
And the effects in space were funny. The side characters were funny.
Yes.
The extras, I thought they were good. And I had a good time. I did think it was well acted. I mean, we have Kerry Washington here. I don't have complaints
she's
about
good.
her acting. Don Joy Randolph is in here.
Yeah,
I enjoyed Omar Sy. The acting was fine. Mark Strong, we know he knows how to act. I do think it was well acted. It had some charming moments.
It did.
Especially with the family.
Yes.
I like the family dynamic. There was a surprise. Not a surprise, but there was something I did not know about the relationship going into the film based off the trailers that was a surprise in the movie that I enjoyed. I liked how much in this movie witchcraft requires the reading.
Yes.
And studying.
Yes, and they're learning as they go through
and
the
they
whole
enjoy
movie.
doing it. Every time they get together, one of them whips out a book. And they're talking about a new spell that they read up on.
Correct.
There's a lot of studying and reading and books that goes into witchcraft. I like the fact that it requires you to do the work. You can't just be Wanda and have spells with no incantations. You actually have to
be no Wanda either.
You got to open the book every now and then.
Right. I did like that because they go to the bookstore at least like 3 or 4 times in this movie to go get some new supplies. And rations or whatever I think Bonnie says. And books.
And I love Wanda, but I love the fact that in this type of magic
Everybody
where
can't
it's
be one.
right, where it's not like wavy magical witch fingers. They actually have to like explain.
read.
They got to give you more lore,
Right.
to tell
You
you how
gotta
this
take an
works.
ACT for
Yeah.
witches. This is very much a Yelena and Bob movie.
Yes.
So they sell this as being Yelena as the lead, which is fine. I like Yelena, so I didn't have no problem with that. It is also a Bob movie though. Like I feel like we spend a lot of our time with both. Unfortunately, Lewis Pullman was good.
Yeah.
So I feel like making it a co-lead movie was actually a good idea. I like that they kept everybody's personalities the same.
Yes.
So nobody has a weird personality switch from the last time we seen them. If they was a jerk and a horrible person and just rude the last time we saw them, they are the same way.
Yeah.
And I like that. We didn't get nobody having a miraculous change up while we ain't see them.
Josh Hartnett plays a very good crazy serial killer who's like on the brink of like crumpling and falling apart under the slightest bit of pressure.
Tweaking this whole movie.
What didn't work for me was the dad moments.
We agree on that.
I
don't know what the disconnect
him
was,
as
though.
like the
Doting dad?
Yeah, doting. That
wasn't
didn't fly
working.
for me. It wasn't working.
I don't know if it was the
Josh
actresses.
Hartnett doesn't come across as old enough.
Is that what it was for you?
He just didn't feel old enough.
I don't know why.
And maybe he is old enough. I'm sure he is old enough to have kids.
I agree with you. I don't know why the daughter-dad dynamic wasn't working.
But they were both good individually. The daughter, Ariel Donahue,
She was good.
I liked her.
Yeah.
She was believable. She wasn't like a kid that was super annoying or super distracting. She was like a regular kid. And I liked the fact that she was reasonably suspicious when he started acting weird. Also enjoyed Young Furiosa
She was good.
because she wasn't no punk.
She wasn't taking no mess.
No,
Okay.
she
She was
didn't.
like, I don't want to be here.
Even
and
though
I'm
she was raised in a green place, they clearly taught her how to like fight and survive.
some Dora
and stuff like
Milaje
that.
stuff was going on.
So
Okay.
I liked that. I really, really enjoyed Chris Hemsworth as Dementus.
Yes.
Very,
yes,
very
yes,
good.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
He definitely stepped out of his
Thor bag.
Thor bag. And we say it like Thor's the only thing he's ever done in his career.
Right.
But
Ghostbusters bag. No, I'm just
yes, definitely different than any other thing that I've seen Chris Hemsworth do. I loved how insane and unstable he was and how childish and irresponsible as well.
Oh my God.
Because even
like,
if he was not insane, he was still extremely childish and irresponsible.
he had a good idea, but his execution was like, are you 12?
Yeah.
What's going on? It's going out with a whimper, y'all. The whole Spider-Man associated Sony movies.
But hasn't it been whimpering for a while?
It's never not whimpered. How about that? Venom 1 is the only movie I'll give them credit for. That's it. Nothing else. Nothing. Everything
Hold
else
on.
has been whacked. Don't anybody. What you looking up?
I want to see what
What
it
you
is.
looking up?
So,
So look up.
Just in case.
All the movies sucked except maybe Venom 1.
I just want
Go
to
ahead.
see.
Waste your time.
Just in case.
Waste the listener's
Maybe
time.
there's one that maybe there's a guilty pleasure in this list. Films. Venom 1.
That's mentioned.
Okay, so there's another one. There's none on this list.
None. I can name them all. That's how
There's
Venom,
not even a guilty pleasure.
the
in
3
this.
Venoms,
Venom is the guilty pleasure.
Morbius.
I like that the villains kept in his fights. The henchmen kept going for his shield. They kept trying to separate him from his
Yeah,
shield,
thinking
and
that was
then
his thing.
when they would, he would still kick their butts. And it's like because it's not just the shield. You
Right.
guys think it's just the shield
Because they think, oh, you don't have super soldier serum, so the
Right.
shield must be all you got. And he like, nah, dog. I'm
Nobody
new to
ever
this.
says that
I'm
about
not new
Natasha.
to this. I'm true to this.
Yeah, nobody ever said that about Natasha.
Right.
She never had a
no
shield. Exactly. All she had was 2 sticks and 2 guns.
Listen, I mean,
Nobody ever said she was
She
incapable.
getting busy, but
Exactly.
come on. I already mentioned everybody looks good. The people look good. The house look good. The pot roast look good. Everything in this movie is like delicious.
People audibly said the house was nice. When I said it, somebody next to us was like, "Ooh, that's a nice house."
Wasn't even quiet about it. It was like, "Ooh, this house is nice."
Yeah.
We started
It's a nice
laughing
house.
because Jay said it like 2 seconds before then. So yes, movie looks good. I loved all the characters. I wouldn't take out nobody. I wouldn't add anybody. Just the cast list is longish, but it's not just like the couple. We have other people around the couple. Leads and supportings, all great.
I don't want to compare her to Sidney Prescott, but
Go ahead. You already said it.
through the films, when Sydney's friend circle was murdered,
Yeah.
you could tell that
Sydney was broken up.
she was broken up about it. It was addressed. They
Yeah.
never address, other than addressing the fact that there's somebody who knows that she survived. They never even touch on how she feels being a survivor.
I was gonna say,
and I do like the fact that this did get a little gross sometimes. I do like a little gross in horror.
just a touch.
We do get some snake imagery. That's very clear from the poster and from the trailers.
We get some body parts.
We get some ghouls.
Okay, ghouls.
We get ghoul snake people.
Sure.
Maybe.
Something.
I don't know. See what took place.
Creature. We get creatures.
Yes. And I did like that we do get some, which I know you don't like. We do get some twitchy humans.
I hate Twitchy. I
enjoy twitchy humans.
Oh my God. If you want to scare me, Twitch. That's the Twitch in real life. And I'll be like, oh, no.
We do get our serving of twitchy humans. And
it's the worst.
Maybe this person has more arms than a regular human should.
I don't like extra appendages and twitching.
Is that a centipede person?
Oh
we do get some of that.
On that note of CGI, I thought it was overdone on the tornadoes. Now, I realized that Twister came out how many years ago? 1996, you said? So it's been like 30 years. Mm-hmm. I realized that CGI back then wasn't great. So if you go back and watch that movie now, the tornadoes look a little janky. But that's what they had at the time. I was thinking that these tornadoes would look more realistic, and they looked way too fake.
Well, they went the Geostorm route, which they made CGI fake tornadoes
it did not look that
natural
good.
Looking tornadodos. They were just too big. I knew that tornadoes were going to be CGI because you can never make a tornado happen for film, and if you can, you shouldn't. But it looks like they adjusted the scale, and instead of like scaling it accurately to where it's like it gets longer and wider, they just scaled it wide, so all the tornadoes just look really fat.
So all the acting in this, excellent.
Top tier.
If you have not seen The Batman, then you have not seen Colin Farrell literally disappear into Oz. Every episode, I would have a moment where I'd be looking at the TV and be like, that's Colin Farrell in there. I can't believe it. Yeah. But his whole mannerisms change. He's got like a accent, how he walks, talks. He's just
almost like watching him act as a different person acting as Oswald Cobblepot.
Yes.
It's like he's invented an actor in there. I kind of want to see him playing Oswald Cobblepot in a different movie. Not playing Oswald Cobblepot.
Right. It's just
like he's invented a person.
It's very good. Like Colin Farrell deserves all the Emmys, SAGs, Golden Globes, whatever TV award is out there. Colin Farrell deserves it because he was good. The rest of the cast is also good. Everyone does a great job of being terrified, scared. There's not anybody who's not believable. Right. In being scared. Like you feel like you next to them and you're also scared, which you are because this movie is very full of tension.
Yeah.
And I realized how much sound we make just day to day.
As a test, I don't think I would make it. As a test this morning when I was getting ready, I was walking around my bathroom floor and my feet bones crack.
Yeah.
And when I'm walking around barefoot, my feet might stick to the linoleum. So I was like, oh man, I wouldn't make it. I can't even go to the bathroom.
You don't realize how much noise you make until you can't not make any noise. I mean, I do. I just start randomly humming Beyonce out of the blue, not even thinking about it. And you would just like not be able to do that. But you would because it's just like an instinct. So,
or I snore. It would probably give me a sleep.
Sneezing.
Yeah.
Don't have a bad allergy day. You're dead.
Yeah.
Like it is over for you.
I thought the costuming was really well.
Oh, yes. Everybody's fits. Especially Agatha's fits, perfection.
Costuming was really good. It changed every trial.
It did.
In addition to the costuming, the set design was extremely well as well.
Listen, Comic-Con about to go off on Agatha.
Yeah.
I'm about to be one of them. I'm about to pick something from this show.
I can see this being like group outfits.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, for like Comic-Con or Halloween or
I think the only reason why maybe not so much a Halloween because the show came out like right at Halloween and people need time for stuff like that. But yeah, group outfits for sure.
Let's say you're having dinner with Beyonce.
Yeah.
And they bring chicken. Now we know Beyonce eats chicken. But let's say she decides the only thing they serve is like chicken and sides.
Yeah.
And you're making your plate and you put a chicken wing on your plate.
Yeah.
And you ask Beyonce, does she like chicken? She said, I don't eat chicken. Are you not eating?
I'm eating chicken, but Jared,
that's weird.
Let me explain. That was not weird because people, and I'm not just going to say women, men and women who date men and women do that. Like the person that they're interested in, if they're like, oh, I don't like such and such, the person will be like, oh yeah, I don't like it either. When deep down,
right,
they do.
It was pretty awful to look
It's
at.
pretty like it's. I didn't have no dreams about it.
It
Thankfully,
made for a fun third act. It was interesting.
You know what? It paid off. Everybody kept
did.
hyping up the third act, and sometimes it don't
was
pay off.
Tonally completely different than the rest of the film.
It got real weird.
It did. It got
and
the
that is
tone from the rest of the film after that thing showed up completely changed.
Right, not in a bad way, but it was just like, oh, we are taking it to a totally different place
it's
right
gone
now.
Bonkers.
Right, bonkers is a good word. But overall, almost perfect. 5 for 5 Nicole Kidman's, but we both gonna stick it at a 4.5.
An absolute must see.
Yes, agree.
There's a line. You can make something outlandishly spooky, but once you cross that line, it starts to get ridiculous. It's like, this monster doesn't make sense.
The first time we see like the silhouette of the creature, I started laughing because I was like, what is this?
Because it started to be creepy when it twitched and started to stand.
Yeah.
And then it got too tall. And then I was like, oh.
The creatures are like 20 feet tall. And I was just like, you too big to be walking around in this forest undetected.
They got too big.
I like the way it was shot. The way that they framed all the scenes in the movie sets up tension because they're like wide angles, but the character is just kind of like in one spot. So your eyeballs is kind of like, what's about to pop out?
Right.
Where is it? Where is it going? Am I missing something? Is something about to scare me?
Micah Monroe's character Lee in her house, and she's sitting at her desk looking over investigative materials.
Yeah.
It's shot where she's in the center. The shot is very wide. She's in the center. She's very close to the camera.
Yes, in the foreground.
In perfect focus is her spooky looking kitchen.
Dark kitchen.
Dark, yeah.
Well, it's like she got the oven light on.
Right, she's got the stove light on.
And you just waiting,
all the
like,
other lights are off.
Where's it at?
And
Is something coming?
you're waiting for something to come.
Is it loud?
Something does end up appearing there, but when the way it appears isn't spooky, but there's no jump scare.
So let's talk about our non-spoiler thoughts first.
I can go first.
All right.
Non-spoiler thoughts for Craven. This movie isn't good. It's not good. It's not bad, though, which we said. It's not a bad movie. It does not feel unwatchable, but it does feel unnecessary to watch. An unwatchable movie is Madam Web.
Okay.
That movie's unwatchable.
That movie is frustrating to watch. This was not frustrating to watch.
That movie is unwatchable because it was bad, and it also had production issues.
It was put together very badly as well.
Awful ADR.
Trash.
Awful CGI, and it felt like it didn't know where it wanted to go. This movie felt like it didn't want to know where it wanted to go, but at least looked like it was produced on par with the other good movies.
I enjoyed the first third of the movie. You already mentioned that, where we get like the exposition and the backstory, and we find out how we go from Mickey 1 to Mickey 17. All that was good because the movie's moving pretty quickly, and we seeing a lot of different things of how a person can die and what they subjected him to, and then we all get his backstory with Nasha. All that's great. And then when we get to the planet is when it starts to fall off, which unfortunately is like the last 2/3 of the movie.
Yeah.
And then by the last third, I was like, can we just do whatever we gonna do?
Yeah.
So we can wrap this up. So that goes to my second note of pacing and editing was a little slow.
He didn't show up till like middle of the
Hour.
after the first hour.
Yeah. So would have liked more Willem Dafoe because it's Willem Dafoe, but character was good. He's basically Van Helsing, as we talked about
and
earlier.
that makes sense then because you kind of have to let the stuff build up before you call Van Helsing. So
True. So he plays the Van Helsing of this, and basically the guy, the character that tells everybody what's on the up and up.
Van Helsing is one of my favorite fictional characters. People usually think of him as young vampire slayer Van Helsing because
You're talking about Hugh Jackman.
That was actually
I like that movie.
That's the only young iteration of Van Helsing for real. Van Helsing is always an old man. He's not a vampire slayer.
Oh, interesting.
He's always like an old man professor who just studies the occult. He's like Gandalf.
That's definitely not the Hugh Jackman version.
Yeah.
The makeup also looks good, so we get to start the biting and the scratching and whatnot.
Yeah, the gore effects were really good.
Very
well done. Here.
A+ cinema score for them.
I don't know who did that.
Yeah, I mean, it just looks. We lingered on it quite a bit in some spots. You like, ooh.
Yeah, that's one of my notes is that these are not the vampires that heal and get pretty after they come back.
This
they
is
are
no
wounded.
Lestat.
Yeah.
Okay, they come back, but they come back with their wounds.
Right.
Nasty, but it look good.
Right.
The people behind the scenes had to have so much imagination to think of how many different ways can we make a thing do a thing?
Yeah.
And then how many different things can we think of that thing can do? And it's just kind of like, it's a rock. And you think rocks just sit there.
Yeah.
But the rock, like, unfolds into, like, a trampozoid looking creature that could eat your face off. And you're like, who thought of this? Who thought of that?
The possibilities here are
Endless.
It's like you thought something had just like a little meaning or something transformed once and then it just keeps going and it gets crazier and crazier.
So that keeps you engaged in the show. This is not a show where you turn on and listen to in the background. No, and not because the plot is like super duper, like it's not like an Inception where you like, oh, if I miss something, I gotta rewind. But you need to pay attention to what's happening to these characters. And you want to see like the trials and tribulations that they go through.
Yeah.
Do you want to go first or I can go?
Non-spoiler thoughts. This movie shouldn't have been made. They shouldn't have made this movie. They should have left it at Venom 2. This felt like a trilogy for the sake of having a third movie to say that your film had a trilogy. And you don't necessarily always have to do that.
They could have made a good movie, though. They could have turned it around. I don't know how. I don't write movies.
I don't think so.
Subject matter is heavy, but it don't hit heavy till like the last 5 minutes. So you're going along with the movie and I don't know if I feel like this movie might have needed a trigger warning, but that might have been a spoiler, but they should have said something about the subject and I ain't gonna spoil it, but the subject of this movie is pretty heavy. So don't think you coming out of this happy at all, period. This is not a feel good movie. Most horror movies are not, but some you don't come out like depressed. This movie doesn't get going until about an hour in. So the pacing was very interesting. I turned to Jay at about the 45-50 minute mark and was like, we only got 30 minutes left. Yeah. What are we doing?
Yeah,
like what are taking place? What are we doing? And it's very, I wouldn't call it slow. It's more like the buildup is quite long. It's weird because he smiles. He smiles also in the film as the Void, and I was like,
like ghouls.
Had enough. It was giving real. What's the movie Ghost with the little things that came up out of the
when the ghost came to get the body.
I was getting some of that. And I slightly put my hand over my eyes just a little bit because we were staring at him too long, and I was like, ooh, nope.
Because trying to communicate with the ghost opens the door up wider, and the wider the door gets, the more powerful they become. Okay. So that's why they say ignore ghost. They do some different things with ghost in here.
I'm moving out.
There's some space-time continuum things happening.
You're right. That was new.
Yeah.
That was new.
So they add some new concepts about ghosts and spirits on the other side that they don't really put in other films. I like that.
And that was about a minute of the movie.
Mm-hmm. And it comes into major play at the end.
Correct.
Which I do appreciate how it played into the end. I do think the execution should have been better.
I agree.
I appreciate how it factored into the end.
The last 2.5 minutes, I was like, oh, okay, this is what we was getting to.
Yeah.
All right, well, now the movie's over. But I will say, I did like all the different ways he tried to escape.
I did like that.
So they definitely, and they did it back to back to, like, he never had once he got wind that they were looking for the butcher, he never relaxed.
No.
He was constantly trying to get up out that junk, and he was going to leave his daughter behind to do it.
He would have, there was one of his escape attempts where he made it to the roof.
Yeah.
And he would have, I believe, he would have absolutely left her and got out of there had the SWAT team also not been on the roof.
I like her use of whatever was around her. So she made use of anything, plates, bowls, chairs, people, poles, ice picks, ice skates. She used ice skates. So I think John Wick does that too, where he just uses whatever he can to kill you. She does that, and she does that extremely well. She has a infinity for grenades.
Oh, I would have to say my notes is one of my likes.
The girl is a grenade. They should have called this a ballerina grenade launcher.
Yeah.
Because that's all she liked to use.
She loves grenades. They were singing about Malele.
Right.
And it was giving heaven vibes. And the scenes changed to like flowers and fields of gold. And I was kind of like, okay. And we knew he was an orphan. So my first thought was, this is a dream.
Oh.
They're dead.
Yeah, that would have been a little too. That would have been a little too much for kids. But you know what I also thought is that once I thought as the movie was progressing, because they're going through different like tundras and whatnot, I thought that they were going to get to Malele and it was going to be like Mad Max Fury Road where she gets to the green place. But the green place is the desert.
That's equally devastating for children.
Right. And then I thought about it like, that would have been too much.
Charlize Theron found out that the Yeah, her home was gone.
Child, with nothing there but sand.
Yeah.
So we both was overthinking it. But I see where you was coming from. But I was like, they're going to get to Malele. Malele going to be like a twig.
Yeah.
It's not scary, y'all. So you'll be fine.
Yeah.
If you wanted to see this and you thought it was too scary. Now, it is gory.
It is gory.
So if you don't like gore.
The gore is there.
This ain't for you. I mean, we even get vomit. So.
Yeah, they don't skimp on the
bodily fluids.
Yeah.
It's a lot about, and it's also it's got some raunchy parts.
It does, yes.
So this is very rated R. Mm-hmm. But I would say if you are interested in this, but you're worried about the scare factor, you'll be fine. Yeah. It's not super scary.
Had some solid twist.
Had a couple of twists actually.
Yeah, that I didn't see coming.
Mm-hmm.
It does kind of end with some interpretation.
It does. I was reading up on it because as soon as the credits started rolling, we started trying to dissect the ending. And then I looked up a couple articles and on Reddit, and people were having the same conversations.
Yeah, it's going to be one of those endings where not everybody's going to walk away with the same conclusion.
Correct.
But
correct.
That's part of what makes these types of movies fun.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was, okay, so it had a very small setting.
Yeah.
Which I did enjoy.
In a house.
Because it was filled with creepy atmosphere.
You're only in a house.
Yes. You're only, yeah. And I guess I expected the set to be bigger. The trailer made it seem like, so the trailer makes it seem like that they're going to be trapped in like a maze of some sort. But that's really mostly just a metaphor.
Right. Yes.
The visual maze in the trailer is just a metaphor for them being trapped somewhere. If you do want to watch a musical movie about a courtroom case and it's really good and interesting, you should watch Chicago.
Oh,
That's a good movie.
There we go.
Secondly, on another note, Richard Gere is a better Harvey Dent in Chicago than Harvey Dent was in this movie.
Ooh, I did not like Harvey Dent's portrayal in this.
Forgettable and boring. It was like somebody made you a PB&J sandwich and forgot the PB and the J.
And you just got
and
stale,
the second low piece of bread.
You got the end pieces.
It was very weird because he's clearly supposed to be like the smug character whose face that you just hate to look at because he's so smug. He didn't even pull that off. Well, he was just boring and smug.
He looked very young too.
And this is not against the actor. This is just against the direction. They didn't give you anything to do.
Okay,
so
fair
I
enough.
can't even say if you're a good actor.
Fair enough.
They gave you nothing. You were literally just in attendance. But my last non-spoiler note is I do think my standout was Divine Joy Randolph.
Agreed.
She was great in this movie.
100%.
I did not expect her to be in as much of this movie as she was.
Agreed.
I'm glad. She was pretty much in the whole movie.
Yes.
And I'm glad that she was in the whole movie. She's a scene stealer.
I would rewatch this because of her.
Yes. And
I feel like.
And everybody was good, but she was a scene stealer.
She was.
And I would watch a spinoff.
Sure.
Yes.
Yes.
With
just
her.
her.
Divine Joy Randolph.
Her and whatever sad character.
That's a bit of a spoiler because I guess you don't know if she like lives through the whole movie or not, but she lives, and I would see a stand. I would see a spinoff with her.
I would.
100%.
Cassandra Nova, she did a very good job of playing like the aloof villain who's also kind of like, oh, something else might be going on here. And then she get real weird.
She gave me kind of evil Wanda vibes in some scenes.
Okay.
Like she did like her power. So Cassandra Nova is she's telepathic in the comics, but in the movie they gave her telekinesis. So she can read minds and move things with her mind.
She pretty bad. I'm like, bad, like bad meaning good.
Yeah. So they made her like a super threat in here, but she does have some witchy Wanda-esque moments when when she does her mind reading, Wanda like just pops up behind you and kind of fiddles with your mind.
Yes, we talking about multiverse of madness Wanda.
Yeah, we're talking about evil Wanda.
For reference.
We're talking about broken Wanda.
Yeah. Not WandaVision Wanda.
I'll add I like Denzel Washington's capes. He is in a cape in every single scene.
Costuming was great on
Costuming
Denzel.
Was amazing for everybody. But
Pedro.
Denzel's capes were really good. And Pedro, I liked his white.
Yeah, white was good.
They were like his armor was like they remind me of like Clive Rossfield skins from Final Fantasy.
Yeah, every time Pedro was on
like different skins.
Pedro looks nice in his getup.
Yeah.
Budget was spent on the costuming, y'all.
Costuming was amazing.
And Denzel, every time he was on screen, I think he had on something different.
Yeah.
Which was great. I loved it.
My last I'll put it is that the fights were tense. I like the gladiator fights. The gladiator fights were tense. I was wondering if they were going to bring the same amount of tension. The wounds from the knife cuts and the stakes of the fight, and not everybody walks away unscathed, and it makes it very tense. Like, it's not like a superhero movie where you can take a punch.
Okay.
And you know, Black Widow can fall off a tower and land on her feet and be fine. You said nothing went to the cutting room floor.
I don't think they edited anything.
That's how this movie feels. It feels like all of the things that you would have brought in an editor to cut out because it doesn't make sense for story flow. They didn't have that. So
this is the director's cut, and nothing was cut.
All of the deleted scenes are playing in the middle of the freaking movie, and it's very frustrating.
Exactly. The flow of the movie gets so chopped up in like scenes that don't add anything to the movie. Yeah. So it's just like you got a good plot in the middle of a script that's got too much in it, and you got good actors in the middle of a movie that got too much going on.
I thought a sequel idea would be fun if they like went on a girls trip and they get stuck somewhere because like Alyssa loses their passports and they have to like find a different way to get back home.
I like it.
Another impossible situation that nobody would be able to get out of that I feel like that would be fun to watch them in.
I like that idea.
Or they go like out of town on a resort. And the other people in the resort could be like the celebrity cameos, kind of like how they did the tenants in the apartment complex.
Yeah. Okay.
Kind of like a funny version of White Lotus.
Okay.
Or BAPS. This was kind of like a parallel to Friday. They could do a sequel where it's a parallel to BAPS, where Alyssa hooks up, because we know that she likes men. Okay. Alyssa hooks up with some rich man.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because she gets on Tinder and says, Lord, please let this one be rich.
Right.
First up, we have best overly dramatic death scene. So this is a scene where the person was probably doing too much, or maybe the scene was too much. I don't know. You want to go first on what you picked?
Sure.
Yes.
I have...
Let me do a drum roll. Go.
The winner for best overly dramatic death scene for me will be any death scene from Rebel Moon Part 2.
Oh.
Literally pick any one.
That was April. That was an April movie.
Mm-hmm. They were all overly long and overly dramatic.
The whole movie was overly long. Oh, God, that movie. He keep getting movies.
Let's do, if we want to narrow it down, I'll do Arms Girl. Whoever she was.
Oh, yeah.
Arms Sword Lady.
With the lightsabers.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was dramatic. Oh, that scene was so long.
Okay. Our next category is going to be most hilariously bad CGI.
This was an easy one for me.
Oh, you want to go first?
Sure. It's Mad and Wet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. The ADR was bad. The CGI was bad.
Yeah.
Crazy use of product placement. I mean, it's just all over the board.
I will go in a different direction, an earlier film.
Okay.
And I will say our most hilariously bad CGI was the fairies in The Watchers. Because
we did laugh.
I recall that's one of my favorite clips of us is I recall us watching that movie and initially being terrified until they got too big, and then it was like, this isn't scary anymore. This is ridiculous.
You just look silly, Mr. Man. You're not scaring me. You're right. I
thought the fairies in The Watchers were really, really bad. The CGI on the fairies were really, really, really bad.
They were not terrifying, guys.
That was not the main focus of the film. The focus of the film was human actors. So they slipped the budget on the fairies. Dialogue that made no sense but sounded cool.
I'm gonna let you go first because I think we might have the same thing.
So
dun, 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 dun.
I misread this category. I thought dialogue that made no sense but sounded funny. I must have read a different line.
It's cool, funny.
This is not cool dialogue, but it is funny dialogue. And this is from Craven. And this is when Calypso says, my grandmother died shortly after that trip, and I never saw her again.
Yeah, didn't make no sense.
That's weird. That's weird because
that's
the first part of that statement answers the second part of that statement. She died. And unless you see Ghost, you wouldn't see her again. So that was a weird way to explain the fact that you could not call your grandmother. Scene that had no right being that funny.
I bet you we got the same one. But I'm not going to count us down because we went wrong.
Okay.
You go first.
I have an obvious one.
I think we got the same one. Let's say it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Long legs.
Yes. There's a scene. It's not the opening scene. It's like the second when we first meet Long Legs.
Yeah.
And he meets our main character as a little girl. He starts. It's cold outside. It's snowing. They're in the middle of
Longlegs is a holiday film.
I won't say they're middle of nowhere, but they definitely had a house that's maybe a little bit secluded. It's got some woods behind it. And his introduction to the little girl is to bust out into song.
Yes.
And it is the most creepiest, weirdest, funniest scene that you will probably have in a horror movie.
Next category is best non-human character. This includes robots, pets, aliens, etc.
Now, I bet you we got the same answer for this. Let's say it at the same time on the count of 3.
Okay.
1, 2, 3.
Levi
Andy from Nope.
Nope.
Not the
But that's a
same.
good one.
So my answer was Andy from Alien Romulus.
Great. That's a great choice. I loved Andy and Alien
What
Romulus.
He's the what do they call him? Synthetic.
He's a Weyland-Yutani synthetic.
Yes, synthetic.
Artificial person. They prefer to be called artificial persons.
Correct. Excuse me. But the actor who plays him was really good. But because he switches back and forth because he gets his chip switched in the movie, very good. Yeah. Very good. I liked him.
Yeah, good standout performance. I picked Levi from Scavenger's Reign.
Okay,
as
good.
My best non-human character.
Levi had a little bite.
Levi had a little bite. I loved Levi's arc.
Next, we have most overly dramatic weather scene.
I got the one qualifier on the list.
I think we got the same one. So you go first.
Most overly dramatic weather scene for me would be Twisters.
Would you got a specific one?
It would be the opening scene.
Oh, okay. Well,
when the idiots run under the underpass and get sucked up by the tornado.
Karen Shipka, girl, why was you in this movie?
The actual storm chasers run under an underpass to escape.
And they all but one died. Mine was same movie, Twister.
Okay.
But mine was a drive-in theater scene. No, not the drive-in theater.
The rodeo.
The rodeo scene. Where they are chilling outside in rodeo.
Oh, you mean the jump scare tornado that appeared at the rodeo that nobody even felt the slightest gust of wind
tell me
before the tornado appeared in the darkness.
2024 and y'all had no idea a tornado was coming?
There wasn't even any build up. The tornado literally, it was a jump scare. It was like Longlegs.
Exactly.
The tornado just popped up. Most creative use of a random object as a weapon. I think we have the same for this one.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do 3. 1, 2, 3. Boys, girls,
grater.
we're on the cheese grater. You hated that. I loved that scene.
Disgusting.
And you hated it.
I do not like the use of cheese graters. They did that in Evil Dead Rise too.
Oh, okay.
And I did not like that at all.
I enjoyed it here though.
And they dialed it up to 10 for Boy Kills World. Evil Dead Rise was like a 5-second scene. It was one leg. He like cheese grated a whole bunch of kitchen staff.
Legs, arms.
Gross.
It was glorious. Boys Kills World is if you like gross, overly dramatic, bloody death scenes. This your movie.
Shout out to the makeup department though. I'm sure it was hard to make cheese grater wounds. What are we watching next week? I always don't fully look at the bottom of
We're watching Gladiator 2, the requel. Yay!
Gladiator, Wicked, Moana. It's about to get crazy at the movie theaters.
The numbers about to be numbering.
Yeah.
Ching, 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 ching.
So excited for Gladiator.
Yep.
I hear it's good. It's got virtually the same Rotten Tomato score as the original one, which is low, which I didn't realize.
It's like 74, 75.
Who would give Gladiator a 70s range movie?
Critics.
It won the Oscar.
They're so pretentious.
Several.
It did. Actually,
Scott's best work.
Yeah, but we don't go to the movies based on what critics say. Anyway,
Gladiator's gonna be fun. Absolutely excited to see it.
We can see. I'm gonna try to find us XD. I want to see some XD lion fighting the whales and rhinos or whatever the heck else is in this movie.
All right, thanks for listening. If you like our show, please share it. You can leave us a review on Apple Podcast or on our website at vaguelynerdypodcast.com. We can also leave us a voice message and we'll play it on the show if it's nice.
Yep.
If it's not nice, you'll hear from Cheryl about it.
On all the social media channels.
You can follow us on Threads and IG at Vaguely Nerdy Podcast. We are not an AI profile. We're real people.
No, and we don't tell you how we like fried chicken and greens.
We have real human faces that we can show.
Oh my God, go ahead.
Stupid.
It was just stupid.
Blue Sky and Twitter at Vaguely Nerdy Pod. You can also reach us at vaguelynerdypodcast@gmail.com. And if you're listening on a podcast app and you want to watch us, our animated format of our podcast is on YouTube at the Vaguely Nerdy Podcast.
And we'll have all our pictures and stuff of all the movies and everything. You can see our
we'll do something special for our award show.
Pretty little faces.
Yeah.
All right. Until next episode.
Bye.
Bye.